Hey guys, welcome to the Men's Forum.
Your guide to be a better man.
Here we talk about everything to do with dealing with the nuances of life as a man.
This is your safe space to find solutions to any problem you could be facing as a man.
We're your hosts, Rajveer and Shaleen, and today we're talking about friendships and brotherhood. This is a very exciting topic for me because I am someone who has been traveling for a huge number of years as adventuring. And one of the things that I really missed while traveling a lot is that, okay, I would make friends wherever I would go to. But then when it would come time to be able to, create deeper connections, I couldn't really, because it was just meet these people 2-3 days and then boom, they're gone. Then when I finally settled in Nairobi again, after this entire adventure of traveling, that's when we kind of started creating a deeper friendship. And I started understanding how much I love being in a community of friends that you can consistently meet and build deeper relationships with. So you have a huge friend circle. It's massive. I feel like when we became friends, I got 500 friends with you. So was it always this way? Were you always a social butterfly, or were you someone who was shy and then you started building up towards becoming more confident and becoming a socializer?
My initial stages of where I started making friends was probably when I was in year 10, probably 2010, 2009. So understood the importance of networking.
How old were you back then?
Don't ask for my age.
I don't know.
So I mean, this is when I was in year 10. So that's the time you could go clubbing, you could go out.
Okay. Around 16-ish.
Yeah,
16,
probably around there.
15,
yeah.
16. Mm-hmm.
So I understood the importance of networking. And the reason why I was networking is my grandfather told me two things. He told me if you have a network, you can create wealth. And if you have wealth, you'll have a network. So I think for me, that stuck with me. And I've always been networking. I've always been trying to have very healthy friendships around me. I'm honestly blessed to have so many friends, so many circles. I have not limited myself to one circle, of course. And it's taken me so far in life in terms of, meeting people with different perceptions, meeting people from different cultures, so many different communities. And the most important thing is respect. If someone gives you respect, you'll respect them back. And all these friendships have stuck through so many years, as in, some have cut off, of course, the toxic ones. But yeah, I have a lot of friends, and it's nice having everyone around once in a while. It's just a bundle of joy, and being joyful is very important sometimes.
I feel like I asked that question because I am someone who was a tad shy. I started breaking through that bubble when, I started my YouTube channel. And I started learning how you start making friends, what kind of things to say. And when I have conversations with certain people, they'll tell me, when I want to make friends, the biggest issue is that in my head, I'm like, what do I say? What do I say to make a new friend? I think a lot of people deal with this issue. That's why you have a lot of people who aren't social or they're socially anxious. Then they don't get the chance to make friendships that are truly worth it in their lives. So you end up dealing with, okay, I made these friends in high school and that's all I have. And I'm just going to live with that. And even if they're toxic people, because you're like, I can't make new friends. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
You end up just living with those shitty friends.
So we need to understand the two kind of people in the world, right? They're introverts and the extroverts. So those who are introverts, of course, it's always difficult for them to make friends. Especially you, during your early stages where you mentioned earlier in one of the podcasts that you are an introvert. So breaking that, of course, takes a conscious change that you want to bring. And then it starts small, right? You can meet small communities. You can go out, hang out in mixed activities, probably like paint and sip, or you can go to a gym where they're doing CrossFit.
But at that point, I think you need to break out of that comfort zone initially. Yeah. You did mention, yes, once upon a time, I was an introvert. And I was. I think a lot of people use that as an excuse of, okay, I'm an introvert, I don't want to go out and meet people. The basis of our podcast so far has been practice.
Yeah.
I think you can practice being an extrovert from an introvert. And I like that, you go for these little social events that are low pressure. You go in, maybe you can go with one of your toxic friends, and then and then you use that as your comfort zone, and then you slowly push out of it. Like, okay, let me meet someone while I'm here at this paint and sip, look at someone and just be like, hi, how are you doing? And then you move from there.
I think it's just one step of having a conscious change. And one thing you need to keep in mind is always be true to yourself. Be yourself. Don't change anything about you.
What does be yourself mean? For a lot of people, it's like, again, with that thought of, I don't know what to say, I'm not good enough. What does be yourself actually mean to such a person?
It's not changing anything about yourself. You can go and stand somewhere, and your conscious mind should not worry about what you're saying, what you're speaking about. Maybe, yes, you might need icebreakers. Probably if you don't know how to have a conversation, it's something that you can learn off so many platforms. But for me, what I've learned is the moment I'm myself and I'm really being myself, I don't have to lie. I don't have to change my personality, nothing. That's the best version of me. And that is why people love me for who I am. And you never want to change anything about yourself.
So truly embracing who you fully are, even if you think you're boring, because there are people out there who will actually connect to that. And icebreakers is a very important thing. I know one thing that I did in my practicing was I wrote scripts. And that's also something that kind of helped me with my YouTube channel. Initially, I was very, shy of the camera, and I was like, okay, how can we break this? You just write down scripts until it becomes a part of you. So when you have these icebreakers, the first or second, or maybe even the first 10 times you use them, it'll feel weird to you because you're doing it for the first time. And then after that, you break through it, and that becomes a part of you. Now you're confident in being able to meet new people, and you just use the same icebreakers because they actually work.
My best icebreaker in any scenario, because I'm mostly out at night. How's your night going? That's it.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I think that is one single line that will stay with me for the rest of my life. I think I'd walk up to a bar and I'd have my beer, and I just ask the person next to me, how's your night going? Are you having fun? She's like, yeah, it's all right. And I'll be like, why? What's up? Why is it not going well? And then one conversation leads to another. And
yeah, you can kind of, if you're in the present moment and you're actually listening, once that conversation starts, you can pick little things from whatever they're saying to dive into a deeper conversation for another. So I guess this is some helpful tips for people who are struggling with making new friends. But now back to the importance of brotherhood. I've really, really come to appreciate the brotherhood that we have. It's such a safe space where, you can, for men, you can be in a relationship. And one thing that I've realized is that women, they want to be feminine and men want to be masculine. But when you whine, it's kind of like a feminine, not to say that women whine a lot or whatever, but it's a feminine quality. Giving into your emotions is a feminine quality. And when you do that with a woman or a girl, it sort of makes them lose a little bit of respect for you subconsciously. So when you have the safe space with your brothers, you can go into that emotion with them and share with them whatever it is that you're going through. And they have that power to, bring you back into your masculinity. And then when you go back to your partner, you show up again as that masculine figure for them. Not that I have a lady in my life, but I feel like this is something that has really helped me with, being a masculine figure in my family so that I can take care of what I need to take care of and not have to deal with emotions that don't really serve me because I've already talked them out with my brothers.
I mean, being soft is fine. I think you as a man, you're allowed to be soft. It's not like it will rub off your masculinity. What I've learned is when you accept a flaw or you embrace being soft, you become stronger. When you've dealt with underlying issues or anything underlying that could be from what you're feeling, maybe a very soft emotional side, And when you hang out with your boys or your brothers and you're out there and discuss all these things, they'll guide you. You'll probably even feel better talking about it. And I think men out there, when they meet, there are a lot of men who go for cookouts on every Wednesday night or Friday nights, as old as 50 or 60 till today. And they speak about all these things. It's just not relationships. So
Not all. There's okay. There is things that we've discussed in the past, and the whole reason why we started this podcast is a lot of men don't talk about their feelings.
Yeah, not feelings, but I'm saying in terms of being soft doesn't genuinely have to be because of the relationship issues or family issues. It can even come from a business perspective. It can come from any other perspective you can think of that involves a man. And when men talk to each other about all these things, addressing all these issues, end of the day, it's your brother, your brother's keeper, right? And we've learned that in so many books. We've learned that in so many other podcasts. So yeah, it's important to address being soft. It's okay to have a soft side as a man, and yes, end of the day, yes, be masculine. Embrace, protect. Be strong.
Do you sometimes feel like there's certain qualities in a person that makes you think, okay, this person is someone I want to keep at arm's length, or this is someone I want to bring to keep close to me? What kind of qualities do you seek?
So I always look in the good of people, right? When people are good, at heart, and their energies are good, you'll know that this person is good or not. Some friends could be wanting to be my friend and stick around with me for my qualities as well. I don't cut that off easily. Yes, one day we might need each other on a different scale of scenario, but it is always important to see the good in people. That's why these friendships of late are very, how do I say it? Everyone wants to take advantage of everyone. We're in a world where people are friends with other people because they're getting something out of it. And my level of thinking is different in terms of, am I seeing something good in this person? Does this person add value in my life in terms of being respectful to me or being humble? Humility is a very big thing for me. Like when I see humility, even despite you could have all the money in the world, you could have all the cars in the world, you could have everything in the world, but if you respect me for who I am, you're humble towards me, and you show a lot of humility, that is something that I look for. And that is how friendships grow. And of course, yes, being there for each other, supporting each other, having good, healthy conversations, that's one of the most important things.
When you talk about toxic qualities, though, what does that kind of look like for you?
So there are people who are always about themselves, right? That is one thing that pisses me off. And number two that pisses me off is people who rub their shit on my face. I get it. If you have more than me, good for you, right? And even if you have more than me, you shouldn't come and tell me, oh, I have this. When you're probably sitting in my house and telling me all this, it's like a comparison. I don't need to hear that. Respect me for what I have. I'll respect you for what you have. Let's have
boasting and ego.
Of course,
displaying a lot of ego.
Yeah. And then I know I have some friends who use me for probably my different set of skills, and I'm always very mindful, and I look out for these traits. And I mean, I keep them at a distance. I don't like cutting. Yeah, I don't like cutting people off, and I respect everyone. And again, I think I have a very bad problem. I always see the good in people. So I'll be like, okay, if he was there for me once, and if he still messes me up 10 more times, I'm still looking at that one good time. So yeah, and also friendships go far, right? Today we might not be close, but tomorrow maybe he grows up or she grows up. It's just that with time, you never know where friendships can help each other.
I like that. Yeah, a lot of people have their own journeys of self-realization, journeys of realizing, whoa, I was like that, and that was not a good way to show up. So when you don't cut them off and they come back and show you this newfound self that they have, it feels nice to now create a new relationship with them. When I was young, I didn't really understand the sentence of your network is your net worth until very recently. And so that was something that it wasn't really at the back of my mind because I didn't understand it. And so because of that, I didn't actively work to create relationships with new people. I think like a lot of people probably are in that same boat where your parents are like, yeah, friends, they're not good to have, friends will always leave. Then you kind of grow up with these beliefs, and those subconsciously play on your mind and stuff. Then until you actually realize, no, it's not that way. If you know how to maintain relationships, first of all, like you said, you keep your humility. You make sure that you're giving just as much as you're taking. Everything in this life, you've also said it a long time ago, yin yang, it's all about give and take. And not even like give and take in the sense of, oh, if this guy lent me money, I have to lend him back money. That's one of my biggest fears when I was younger, was making friends who were rich and possibly being in a situation where I could ask for money, because not being well off, and just that thinking of, okay, give and take is only about money. But if you can be there emotionally for someone, or you can physically be there for someone if they're going through something, you're just there. If they're a rich person and once upon a time they did give you money, so you don't necessarily have to help them in a financial situation. You help them in like, mentally, physically, advise, that kind of stuff. Those are all different ways of being there for someone. So in as much as you could be taking, there's other ways you can give, value versus value.
True. So I think for the people out there, if they're looking for friendships on a deeper level, there are 4 things you need to look out for. So there's IQ, there's EQ, there's AQ and SQ. So IQ is your intelligence quotient, EQ is your emotional quotient, AQ is your adaptability quotient, and SQ is your social quotient. So now, not everyone has all the 4, right? Someone can be super smart and not have the rest of the 3. So you need to see like, where do you find your balance with them, right? Because everyone wants to feel like a sense of belonging in their friendships. Okay, like today, you and I, whenever we're talking, you want to feel that sense of belonging. You just don't want to be there for each other just because, or maybe I have status, or probably have a name out there, probably I'm in politics, or I have a name in the business market. You as a friend would always want to feel this sense of belonging. So it's very important to find balance within these quotients. Probably when we're having conversations, maybe your IQ level is higher than mine, and probably me adapting to what you tell me is high, so I accept what you're saying. Same thing goes with your social quotient. Like not many people have the best SQ out there. We've just spoken about it earlier. But yeah, there are steps of kind of maybe twitching it a little, but I mean, of course, you can't raise it to 100 in a day. So it's all about practice, what we've been talking about. And one thing about friendships and brotherhoods, and I mean, like, I personally had more female friends than male.
Same.
Yeah. So it's
after high school.
Yeah. So it's not even about what gender of friends you have. The most important thing is being there for each other, especially during times of when someone has lost someone in the family, or they're grieving their own stuff. Probably they're feeling depressed, stressed on different levels, and when you're there for them, you're being a support system that might even help them feel better, even if it's 5%. Why not?
That sense of belonging, when you can fully be yourself with people,
True.
with your friends, and you don't have to put up this mask of like, oh man, every time I hang out with this person, I have to be XYZ. A lot of people go through that. And it's so sad to see, because like you can just take off that mask and you can find new friends and just be yourself. And it's such a breath of fresh air. And then at that point, yes, you can say my friends are my family, because they're seeing the true you. And the more you express your authentic self, the more you can give to this world.
Someone told me something once upon a time, and they said, if you have this many friends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're the richest man in the world. If 5 friends can truly be there for you in terms of anything, I can be broke tomorrow, I might not even have a single cent, but if those 5 friends can be there for you, I can be in the hospital, and if anything happens, then those 5 friends will be there. You are the richest man. Look around, see who are your real friends. People might be just there to manipulate, take advantage, and
Cut them off and then go and start making new friends. There's one thing that I learned from a book that says, every person that you meet, they may have any status, but they always have a piece of knowledge, or again, any of these EQs that you're spoken about, EQs, quotients, any of the quotients that you're spoken about, you never know who has what and how well you could gel with that person. So one of the things that I've been doing based on that is I work with a lot of restaurants now. So I talk to the waiters. The other time, there was this one waiter, he was helping me take my my gear back to the car. And he started hitting on this one lady that we were entering a lift, and a lady entered. So he started hitting on her. And they were vibing. So when we get closer to where we're waiting for the Uber, he starts talking about his past relationship and what he's going through. And it's a place to connect. Everyone has a story. So when, especially here in Nairobi, I feel like growing up as an Indian, we kind of look at waiters or cleaners as maybe that's not someone I'm not going to be a friend with. But you never know, man. You could just create such a deep relationship with someone like that. So yeah, everyone you look at, just see, this could possibly be a future brother, or this could be a future homie.
Yeah. Just to add on to what you said, how I judge my friends, how they treat the waiters.
Ah, yeah. Okay. So did I just win brownie points in your book?
Yeah, probably. I mean, some people are very rude to waiters, demeaning them, disrespecting them. These are now the red flags that, I always look out for. Okay, he's a human being. It's not his choice being a waiter or a toilet cleaner. So yeah, he needs to, or she needs to, keep in mind that respect is key.
It is very key. Yeah.
Rajveer, do you think there's any other way you feel you can bring brothers together in terms of spending time, quality time, learning from each other?
There was this time when we went to Naivasha together. This was for your stag. That's the latest in my memory, but I think that's such a great way to bond. When you travel, you kind of experience a different-ish side because you're with the person the whole day.
More than 24 hours.
More than 24 hours. So if you have an open heart and an open mind, you kind of appreciate what a person does and how they do it. So travel, yeah, I think travel is just such a really cool way to bond with people. There was once I even there's a friend of mine from uni. This guy was, when I quit, I went into this busy life of my career, and he was studying medicine, super busy lives. And then when he was done, he gave me a call. He's like, dude, we haven't spoken in so long. I'm like, okay, let's do something. He's like, I want to go camping. So I'm like, bet, I'm down, bro. So after all these years of not, catching up or speaking or whatever, we met up. We went for this one night camping. It was a nice road trip. We spoke about things that we've never even spoken about during our actual friendship and time together in uni. And just, experiencing these things together. We hiked, and at some point we were supposed to jump in this really cold water from a height. Garindare?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, in Garindare. And it was getting super late. The guide was getting pissed because I was, taking videos all the time and vlogging. But and even cooking in the night, I think I almost set, what was it? I was using this kerosene lamp thing to light up a fire, and I almost blew the whole thing up. It was freaking crazy. Man. But when you have your next meetups after that, you kind of speak about the experiences, you relive them, and in moments of disagreement, you can kind of come back to those experiences. In moments of fight, you're like, oh, but you remember that time when, we went on this camping trip and this happened. It takes you back to those happy memories.
True.
Yeah.
True. Funny how you say that, because I think right now technology has improved so much. I mean, compared to the era when we were probably in primary school, I think I've made effort to make a group from my primary
Are you
school.
trying to talk about Snapchat? Because I know
No,
since we became Snapchat, since we became friends, I've been freaking Snapchatting.
So I mean, Snapchat is just one way to probably keep in touch to verify that you're still alive. But also just like a WhatsApp video call, or we come from a moment, like this moments where I remember I used to use Skype, and then I moved to Viber, and then now I'm using WhatsApp, for example. So like technology is really growing in terms of now you can have a WhatsApp group call. And before, all this was not possible. Now the whole world is connected by Zoom, like it's becoming smaller and smaller, and you feel like you're with that person. So it's nice,
It is very nice. Ever since being in this friend group, like I really admire when we get on a group call. It's like 4 people.
For
And
boys.
I'm just like, I have friends. I love this. Okay, let's get on this call. And everyone's just like speaking over each other. You can't hear each other and stuff.
Yeah,
But it's so nice.
I mean, these are the small things I appreciate, and I'm grateful for friendships where we literally live a minute away from each other,
Yeah.
but we still call each
You
other
still
on video
call.
call.
But in line with that, you brought up technology. One thing that really annoys me is, you're sitting down in a conversation, someone pulls up their phone and they're just using it. You're speaking to them and they're like, yeah.
That has been
Yeah.
good. But it depends, scenario based. Like sometimes I have to pull out my phone maybe for work or something. But if it's someone who
No,
does it
like,
often,
yeah.
I mean, that is just being rude.
That's fine. I understand work and stuff, right? We have this unconscious thing that we do where when we sit, okay, I don't know. When I sit on a table with a friend, I take my phone and I put it upside down on the table. Okay. Unless someone is calling me for an emergency or a work related thing. So my phone, I'll turn it like this, and then someone will be calling or whatever. So texts, I don't usually get back to them. If it's a call, then I know it's an emergency. I pick up, finish up with a call, and I apologize. Hey, that was a work call. Let's continue talking. But there's the other scenario where someone will kind of take their phone. And I had a friend in uni who used to do this a lot. You're talking to them and they're literally freaking scrolling through Instagram while you're speaking to them. You're like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, stop doing that. So I think that's something to be mindful. None of us in our group do that
No, I
at
don't
all.
think
It's always just work.
I think that is why I have never put a television in my living room, because it's a space where no one will come and even want to be like, hey, put the game on, or probably there's a football game or Formula One's going on or cricket's going on, and everyone talks to each other, and that is the most important thing, having these conversations and learning the other person, probably in a different scenario, because in most settings you'll find a TV on, and guys are watching
Guys
the
are
game,
watching the game.
and
Yeah.
then the girls are just talking to each other, the boys are all engrossed in the game, and that is what I don't like. I just like everyone coming here, throw in bin bags, and everyone's chilling. People are playing Cards Against Humanity. I think we've done that several times at home, and we've had such a good time. You call different circles, and
And you
different
combine
people.
them,
Yeah, different people meet each other. There's a barbecue done upstairs, and it was amazing where different people came in, and different groups came in, and right now they're good friends as well, when they meet each other. And that is what I like, bringing people together, and it's important. Again, networking
Yeah.
in
Just
professional terms.
just don't come to a huge social circle, pull out your phone and stay on it.
Yeah.
That's being not only rude, it's just being socially anxious. We know that, and we've already discussed how to kind of overcome that.
One thing we can add is we've formed a community. It's called the Men's Forum, and the Men's Forum is actually a happening group. I think if anyone wants to join and come and meet us men out there and create a brotherhood, we just meet, we have a couple of drinks, and we talk and we network and we see how it goes. I think I had started the group when we were 3 boys. I think right now we're 20.
we're a lot of guys.
Yeah, we were 20. I think
A
you
lot.
joined when they were about 10.
Yeah.
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 So I think we're moving in the right direction, and we're going to have healthy conversations like this. And if you feel like you want to join, just drop one of us a DM or DM the Men's Forum page.
But I feel like a few disclaimers. If you're someone whose heart is not open to the world and open to new experiences, you need to learn how to do that first before you come and join the group. Because here's one thing that I never want is, this is a safe space. Yeah. And something that I've experienced in my childhood is you open up, you're vulnerable to somebody, and they take it and they go and destroy you.
Yeah, true.
So if you're someone like that, I don't blame you for doing that. I don't know what traumas you've probably gone through in your life to make you like that, but change and then seek to come to this space.
Come with an open mind if you're willing to come, and we're not making any money out of it. We're not a money making organization.
Sure. Not yet.
So come through. I think we're going to have one in July, hopefully.
Yeah, we just meet up, we cook, we talk about business, we talk about
anything mind stimulating,
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. So with that, we'll end the podcast over here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have learned some great information. So if you guys have any questions about, friendships, brotherhoods, make sure to comment below in this video or hit us up on DM, and we can talk about whatever questions you have in the next podcast. So until then, we will see you guys soon.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Peace.